Are they seated together? Are they seated separately? Do they address any of this drama? I imagine neither of them will.
How quickly do you...
Don't touch me.
How quickly do you know?
Now, because Anna Kendrick is pretty honest herself. And that felt like a complete, like, I'm not going to say anything mean, but I'm going to do it in a sarcastic way like you do to me all the time. And then I'll play like it's a laugh. When they do these junkets, they can set rules. Like, no, because they can hold the cards. Lewis and I have experienced this. When you do a junket, is what it's called, these interviews for the movies, they bring in journalists and they'll say, you can't talk about this, you can't talk about that.
Blake Lively just got exposed in the most brutal way, not by tabloids, but by the one person who swore to stand by her own husband, Ryan Reynolds. Before we dive into how this all unraveled, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're into raw deep dives like this. We break down the biggest entertainment stories with no fluff, just straight up facts, receipts, and a touch of chaos. And trust me, you're gonna want to see how this one plays out.
What does our character know versus what are they letting on like they know? But are they pretending like they know in order to get confirmation, but they don't actually know and they're finding out in that moment?
I think it will be interesting to see the tone that they take with promo here, how much we do see of Blake Lively through this process. I mean, we looked at that post the other night where they left the comments open showing the poster for Another Simple Favor. To stay somewhat neutral, I do have some compassion for her in that regard, but
imagine the shock as the man who played her supportive partner pulls a sudden legal maneuver, declaring he wants out.
It shows Anna Kendrick isn't giving Blake Lively any public support on the Justin Baldoni case, and also at the same time her body language in multiple interviews when asked doesn't seem to be that friendly towards Blake Lively. There's also rumors that Anna Kendrick is pissed because Amazon wouldn't release this movie in theaters because of fears over Blake Lively's reputation.
The level of cringe in this video made Blake Lively co-star shrink almost to below the floor.
So what happens in the third one? No, I'm joking. Korean Rome, honestly. So Paul, we really wanted to make this second movie.
Blake Lively is facing yet more drama, this time with her co-star Anna Kendrick, which she's already done before, but of course is facing again. We knew before that there was some bad blood. So now I guess just is this a new thing actually, or is this just the resurfacing of the previous feud that's now everyone's talking about? I believe this wholeheartedly, Kim, judging by all the things she made Justin, all the hoops and things she took over that we see through text message. I can only imagine what Blake's team, her lawyers, her attorneys are now all using because of court things. Blake Lively is facing yet more drama, this time with her co-star Anna Kendrick, which she's already done before, but of course is facing again.
What does it mean to be back with Anna?
Oh, it's so fast. I'm so happy. It's like, okay.
What does it mean to be working with Blake again?
I've been talking about you all day.
Oh my god, I'm gonna take it.
Come on! Get it in selfie mode! Be prepared!
This isn't just a divorce filing. It's a desperate escape from a situation he now calls pure chaos.
We're not best buddies at all moments, but like do we do well together on screen? And there's some people that like we're best buddies and then on screen it's like
Ryan, the quick-witted star known for his comedic timing, is now allegedly cutting ties with Blake's unfolding public relations nightmare.
and she'll be getting private coaching from an expert on how to handle any questions that could be thrown at her.
This isn't about creative differences or a quiet separation. It's about a man realizing he's been dragged into a legal storm and is making a dramatic exit. The silence from his end speaks volumes.
Which I think is like not fair, right?
Yeah, you're such a bad daughter.
Terrible daughter. See, this is an entire therapy session.
That's good. Get it out.
He's distancing himself from a wife who sources claim has become a legal liability. The Hollywood dream couple facade is crumbling, revealing a far more complicated reality. Ryan Reynolds, Mr. Deadpool himself, has reportedly made a quiet exit from the whirlwind he and his PR-driven wife supposedly orchestrated. This wasn't some minor disagreement. Apparently, Ryan is completely done with Blake's extensive legal troubles. He has chosen not to go down with this ship, filing a motion to dismiss himself from the lawsuit Blake Lively is facing. Sources close to Ryan suggest he confided in others, stating he never signed up for the accusations and legal summons that have plagued their marriage. He apparently believed he was marrying a style icon, not someone entangled in legal entanglements. This separation from her public battles began as her carefully built PR kingdom reportedly collapsed like a house of cards in a hurricane.
They respect you.
A lot of talking
Gotta
off the
give her a
ledge.
pep talk. I'm like, we're amazing. We're powerful.
It's true.
I mean, I'm the reason she gets out of bed in the morning.
And Anna's just an egomaniac, as you can see.
Anna Kendrick had issues working with Blake Lively years ago, and even though they did a sequel together, it looks like those issues are still there because now she's visibly shunning her. And this is a big deal because
The plot thickens with claims that Blake Lively orchestrated a sham lawsuit through their company Vans & Inc. without actually suing anyone. This seemingly innocent action had a darker purpose: to justify issuing a subpoena for Jennifer Abel's personal phone records. What makes this even more alarming is the allegation that they did not notify Jennifer, Justin Baldoni, or Wayfair about this invasive attempt to access private data. Legal experts have reportedly labeled this behavior as a textbook abusive process, suggesting it could be potentially unlawful.
And now that it's a function on Twitter and Instagram, there's a couple people that I have muted.
Good.
Yeah. Blake Lively.
You can mute people on Instagram?
Yeah, it's a new feature.
Anna, what does it mean to be working with Blake again?
Oh, we're talking about you.
And Anna's just an egomaniac, as you can see. So,
Yeah.
so
I'm
I learned a lot
incredible.
from her.
Yeah.
Anna, what does it mean to be working with Blake again?
Oh, we're talking about you all day.
Oh, you know.
Not want to be asked any more questions like that.
How does it feel like the movie's being impacted kind of by everything happening around going on in the world?
Why? What happened? I did ayahuasca and the last year of my life is just gone, but I've heard the movie's amazing.
Wait, thank you.
I just can't imagine how uncomfortable tonight has been trying to dodge all of these questions and pretend like nothing is wrong.
We are talking about possible violations of major federal laws, including the Federal Wiretapping Act, the Stored Communications Act, and the Electronic Records Act. These are not minor infractions, they are serious legal matters. Ryan Reynolds apparently drew a firm line when Blake's legal maneuvers allegedly targeted Taylor Swift. There are claims Ryan completely withdrew from Blake's legal planning team after hearing about an alleged blackmail threat against Taylor. The threat was supposedly to leak years of private text messages if Taylor did not publicly support Blake.
At the same time, this is a problem that is a problem now based on her prior interviews. You know, how much we see of Anna. Will it be very Anna heavy and not as Blake heavy? I don't know. I guess we will see in time.
They film it on their cameras because they're bringing you in. And if you do something that they don't want, they don't give you the footage. They keep the footage, they keep the cards, or they edit it out and give you what they want. They could control this environment and put them together. What's going to be telling Kim is
This incident reportedly solidified Ryan's decision to distance himself as he found the alleged tactic beyond acceptable. It appears the potential involvement of one of the world's most beloved pop stars was the turning point for Ryan, making him realize the severe implications of Blake's actions. Blake Lively's calculated public image is reportedly shattering, as she seems to be losing allies at an alarming rate.
Lots of women are calling bullshit on Blake Lively. That's just what you see. And look, if you're Blake Lively and you get a text message of this guy Jed saying we are crushing it on Reddit, then yeah, I can understand that paranoia, but that's not enough to win a lawsuit, right? They're gonna have to provide that proof.
How about your post should be, I'm sorry. I believed Blake like everyone else when the civil complaint was filed in California, and then 2 days later, the New York Times writes this article. Read this New York Times thing I told everyone. It's horrible. It's terrible. Why doesn't anyone just say, I made a mistake? I think we live in a world, we're out of cancel culture now. I think. But we live in a world where if you say you're sorry, I just believe that people forgive you and you'll be okay.
Justin Baldoni's attorney, power attorney Brian Friedman, is saying Blake is abusing the legal system, slams her motion to dismiss the suit. They're firing back at her attempt to cut herself out of the ongoing legal drama surrounding the film It Ends With Us. Brian Friedman, power attorney, tells TMZ Miss Lively's recent motion to dismiss herself from the self-concocted disaster she initiated is one of the most abhorrent examples of abusing our legal systems. Friedman says stringent rules are put into place to protect the innocent and allow individuals to rightfully defend themselves, while noting laws are not meant to be twisted and curated by privileged elites to fit their own personal agenda. TMZ broke the story that Blake filed her motion to dismiss, saying Baldoni violated the law by filing his own lawsuit in the purpose of revenge. Blake says Baldoni filed his defamation suit against her, her husband, and everyone else after she filed his. And of course, when she filed her lawsuit onto him, obviously he's going to take a hit from that career-wise. So his response is like, you're defaming me by doing that. And she's saying, well, you can't even respond.
It's not just a few friends. Sources suggest a mass exodus from her inner circle. Cara Delevingne and Gigi Hadid have reportedly distanced themselves, and even Ryan is allegedly expressing concern about her escalating behavior to close associates. This isn't a gradual fading of friendships, it's a rapid detachment, as if her closest confidants are consciously stepping away from the unfolding drama. This pattern suggests a deeper issue, as her alleged actions are driving away even those who were once considered loyal.
Brian Friedman, power attorney, tells TMZ Miss Lively's recent motion to dismiss herself from the self-concocted disaster she initiated is one of the most abhorrent examples of abusing our legal systems. What happened was, and again, everyone's doing this. No one wants to be in this trial, of course. Blake Lively's publicist asked to be removed from lawsuit, defends actress against Justin Baldoni's claims. I'm going to get into what Justin Baldoni's lawyer had to say and what Blake's team is saying, because every day there's more to the drama, and I'm going to get into all of this happening next. So we have Blake Lively accusing Justin Baldoni of retaliating with his lawsuit on her, and then we have Justin Baldoni's lawyer saying Blake is abusing the system. To be quite honest, everyone I meet's Team Blake. I mean, other than Taylor Lorenz. Everyone's Team Justin Baldoni. I got that wrong. Everyone's Team Justin Baldoni. The Wayfair Party's vengeful and rambling lawsuit against Blake Lively is a profound abuse of the legal process that has no place in federal court. The law prohibits weaponizing defamation lawsuits like this one to retaliate against individuals who have filed legal claims or have publicly spoken out about harassment and retaliation. The right to seek legal redress and the right of the press to report on it are sacred principles that are protected by multiple privileges, including the litigation and fair report privileges, which are absolute. So their argument is, you're not allowed to sue us back because we filed this harassment suit. I mean, it's like punching someone and then they don't get a chance to return the blow. So here's what Justin Baldoni's power attorney Brian Friedman is saying, right? Because she's arguing in her motion to dismiss, hey, I filed a harassment complaint against Baldoni. He cannot sue me in retaliation. If Justin Baldoni can prove that she filed that claim for some malicious intent, then maybe he'll have a shot at it. But some people are saying, hey, she could get off on some sort of technicality here.
The Van Sham scheme reveals a shocking alleged strategy. In April 2024, Blake and Ryan's company Vans & Inc. supposedly filed a lawsuit with no actual defendant, a move that legal experts find highly suspicious. This lawsuit was then allegedly used to justify a subpoena for Jennifer Abel's private phone data. The alarming detail here is the lack of notification to Jennifer or anyone else affected. This alleged manipulation of the legal system points to a deliberate attempt to bypass standard protocols and gain unauthorized access to private information. Blake Lively is reportedly facing serious legal accusations, including alleged violations of the Federal Wiretapping Act, the Stored Communications Act, and the Electronic Records Act. These are significant federal laws designed to protect privacy and electronic communications. The alleged actions taken to obtain Jennifer Abel's phone data through a sham lawsuit are at the heart of these potential violations. The consequences of such breaches can be severe, ranging from hefty fines to more serious penalties. The fact that these legal issues are now surfacing indicates a perilous path for Blake Lively. Blake's publicist, Stephanie Jones, has reportedly faced a dramatic professional downfall. Once seen as a PR powerhouse, Jones has allegedly lost multiple high-profile clients, including The Rock, Jeff Bezos, Chris Hemsworth, and even Ocean Spray. Reports indicate that Tom Brady also parted ways with Jones after learning she allegedly handed over confidential phone data to Blake. This exodus of clients reportedly stems from Jones's alleged involvement in shady PR tactics and smear campaigns, specifically against Justin Baldoni and Melissa Nathan. Business Insider reportedly characterized Jones' works as a toxic environment with high employee turnover, further cementing the negative perception. Blake Lively's alleged attempts to control the media have reportedly taken a dark turn. When traditional legal threats supposedly failed, her team, including PR professional Leslie Sloan and Stephanie Jones, allegedly began feeding misleading information to reporters. These were not innocent opinions, but allegedly coordinated efforts to discredit Justin Baldoni and Melissa Nathan. When journalists resisted these attempts to manipulate narratives, Blake's team reportedly tried to subpoena them for their private communications, including texts, voice memos, and notes. This aggressive approach against the press, which included attempts to bypass New York's shield laws protecting journalists, highlights a desperate desire to control public perception. Blake Lively's once polished public image has reportedly unraveled completely. Her relationships with prominent friends like Taylor Swift, Gigi Hadid, and Cara Delevingne have allegedly soured, leaving her isolated. Ryan Reynolds, her last remaining public support, is reportedly actively distancing himself, even attempting to sell his stake in Mint Mobile, a company he built. Sources claim he's stated he is done cleaning up her mess. Meanwhile, Stephanie Jones is under federal scrutiny, and Blake's legal team is reportedly trying to portray themselves as victims. Her carefully curated empire of friendships, reputation, and credibility has allegedly crumbled, leaving her with a dwindling support system and a growing list of consequences.